Hey, what is going on, you orange orbital? Today we're playing some games with the newest take on Control. Now, this original idea for this deck comes from Sander, of course, always coming up with new, innovative stall control mill type decks. This build specifically of the original idea from Sander comes to us from a player who got second place in the GG Tour 3K about a week ago. So the way this deck works is you just try and make it so your opponent can't attack, and then you mill away their important options or important cards with the Alolan Muk. There's just two Alolan Muk in here, which looks at the top 6 cards with its ability, and then you can discard any item cards you find there. And the way we try and stop our opponent from being able to attack so they can't draw prize cards is we have Crushing Hammers, we got Galar Mine, we got Boss's Orders, we got Absol, so we can trap stuff in the active. We can Crushing Hammer, take away their energy so they just can't attack. And then we also have Koga's Trap, which is specifically very good against stuff like Scorch or Luke Metalization. Scorch, pretty tough matchup, but beatable with the Koga's Trap. Or if they put stuff down, we can stall stuff out with the Galar Mine Absol Boss combo. And if our opponent is able to attack, we do play 4 Lillie's Pokédolls, which we try and get into our active to be like, all right, you attacked for turn, but now you don't get a prize card, so we don't really care. And then next turn, we boss something, we play a Koga's Trap. And once again, try and make it as hard as possible for them to attack. And the main card that they can use to kind of get out of those situations, like if we trap something in the active, they can switch to the bench to attack again. If we confuse them with the Koga's Trap, once again, switch removes that effect. So Muk is super important at basically milling switch is the main card that the Muk tries to discard in most matchups. And then we got infinite resources from potentially infinite resources from the Munchlax. We got Snorlax, Zacian to help us set up initially. The Oricorio helps us draw cards in the mid game once our opponent starts taking knockouts. Mewtwo recover supporters, Giratina, more energy disruption on those special energies. Aipom, if they get a really big hand and they're just kind of chilling, can use Aipom with that yank out to discard them randomly down to 5 cards. And then we got Mawile in here. If they're open pretty well and they're just kind of not benching anything, so we don't have any options to boss anything up, Mawile-GX looks at their hand, can put basic Pokemon on the bench that we can then boss up and trap in the active. And there's also a surprise box in here, so if they are discarding their Pokemon out of their hand, if they have like a giant Hearth in play or something and they're just actively discarding any card we could Mawile onto the bench, we can use surprise box, put a Pokemon from their discard pile in their hand, and then put it on the bench with the Mawile. So a lot of disruption options. I'm not going to go over every single card and all of its uses, but I think you guys get the point. So let's get into some games. Okay, I'm going to start this off by saying this is a super difficult deck to play, so I'm going to do my best. And I played it a little bit on ladder over on my stream, twitch.tv/AzulGG. First link in the description, but it's still a very hard deck to play. So I'm going to do my best to do my best. But yeah, very hard deck to play. And we'll see. Also, matchups. There are some bad matchups for this deck as well. So yeah, we'll see what we're up against here, and we'll see how we do. I'm not, like I said, hard deck, difficult deck. There's a Viridian Forest that doesn't really do anything for us, I don't think. I have no idea what our opponent's playing. Here comes a DAA change. So it looks like Crushing Hammers. It's probably going to be ADP Zacian because we see the Metal Saucer here, but we also see Crushing Hammer. So I would bet ADP Zacian as opposed to something like a Luke Metalization. All right, so we only have the Bill's analysis to help us find stuff here. We got a Quick Ball, Doll, Crushing Hammer, Caitlin, Cynthia. I think we have to go with the Caitlin Cynthia here. I don't really want a Quick Ball for anything. I guess I could go with Zacian though. Zacian wouldn't hurt, right? So let's get rid of. I want to keep the Exile around. I want to keep all of this. I guess the Surge might be the most useless card right now. So I think the Surge is fine here. Maybe the Reset Stamp actually would have been the one to go with there. I'm just gonna go ahead and Intrepid Sword for 3. But I want to be able to exile, because I maybe want to put Oricorio in play, then be able to exile Zacian and Oricorio off the board would be great. I want to maybe just boss next turn as well. Just boss up to DAA or that. Now that we got the Galar Mine as well, that'd be great. We got a Crushing Hammer to work with. So yeah, I think I would just want to go with like boss something up, try and trap it in the active early, see if we can't get it stuck. Yeah, I don't love, well, our hand's going away to that morning, so that's not happening. Yeah, I don't love the idea of using, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I was going to say. All right, we got Munchlax, Bill's Analysis, Crushing Hammer. Now, there's no great target for Crushing Hammer in play, but I could Crushing Hammer off the energy of the active here. because then they can't E-switch it around. Also, it means the Oranguru can't retreat, which is good, because right now it can retreat with that energy, and it is ADP. So maybe we'll just save the Crushing Hammer until an energy goes on the ADP, which there it is. So I probably will go ahead and Crushing Hammer that energy off the ADP, or attempt to. We'll see. So let's see. Crushing Hammer is a Tails. Tails analysis. Go with the Wondrous Labyrinth. Seems really good here, actually. And then I almost want to. They have plenty of targets in play for us to chase up. So I could like get rid of the Surprise Box with the Quick Ball and get a Snorlax and actually draw 7 cards instead of those 3 off the Zacian, net the Absol. And then, yeah, go ahead and throw that Wondrous Labyrinth in play, because we just stop our opponent from being able to attack anytime soon. And Gourmandize, draw 7. Yeah, they might not be able to get off the GX attack next turn, which would be a big deal. Crushing Hammer heads, of course, there would have been great, but no such luck, so we're going to have to go without it, which is fine. And yeah, we just got to try and trap something in the active. We also want to set up the Muck at some point, so we're going to go ahead and get a Grimer here off this capture. Probably throw this on the Absol to turn it into a pivot. I guess that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Grimer because we want to start getting those switch cards if we can. I could Pal Pad here, but I don't think that makes a ton of sense to use. I do want to draw cards. So then I'm gonna go Caitlin and Cynthia. Discard the Aipom. Grab the Bills analysis because finding boss is pretty important. So I might want to use Bills next turn. There's a Crushing Hammer, so that could be a big deal. Tails, hand is pretty full, so we go back to that Intrepid Sword unless I wanted to use Snack Search. No, let's go with Intrepid Sword here. There's some boss, so that's good. We have the Galar Mine in hand as well. So if they pull off a GX attack this turn, probably go Galar Mine, boss, or we could even Koga's Trap the ADP as well. Yeah, our main goal right now is to try and mill switch cards so our opponent can't move stuff around as easily. So we're gonna go find that Muck with the Calm. Get rid of the Munchlax. The Mewtwo could come in handy. I don't see it coming in super handy, but you never know. So, and then we're gonna go ahead and Muck. Here we get. There's a switch. That's all we want. Everything else, it doesn't really matter. And then we are going to Scoop Up Net the Muck, because I think we just want to do it again this turn. Throw the Pokédoll down. I'm going to put the Grimer down. I'm going to go ahead. They do play Marnie, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Snorlax, get the doll in the active right now. Then Bill's analysis. Doll and a net. Crushing Hammer wouldn't be bad either, though. Actually, the Tool Scrapper is what I really like here. Tool Scrapper Doll. I like those. I'm going to go ahead and scrap these. Get those out of play. No free mobility. And we're going to the Munchlax now. And we're just going to get back. We're going to attempt to get back Scoop Up Nets, because I just want to start using Muck a lot. We have 2 boss in hand, so that's going to constantly bring up the Oranguru or the Dedenne. Bring them up over and over and over again. And then we just want to use Muck. Discard those switch cards. They're down 2 Air Balloon now. And we took away one of the switches with our first Muck use. We just want to use Muck again. And do it again, and just keep doing that until we run our opponent out of switch cards and they can't move stuff around, and then we win the game. All right, they're seeing quite a few cards this turn. They'll probably be able to pull off a GX attack, I would assume. There's the research. They're back in it. They were dead drawn for a little bit there before. They could also just go into Intrepid Sword for the turn. That is possible. But I assume we're going to see the... Oh, it looks like they whiffed again. So just the Intrepid Sword. Like I said, I'm going to go... We're just going to Muck. They could have it in hand, but they might not. Muck. Yes. Ooh, only a Quick Ball. Still gets them closer to decking out, so we're still going to go for it. Munchlax, Snack Search. There's the heads that we're looking for. Put the Scoop Up Net on top. And we're just going to keep picking up Muck, putting it down. Got plenty of boss in hand, like I said. And we have the Pal Pad, so we can like Pal Pad 2 boss into the deck. Like we can go boss. And we could even Pal Pad back the boss into Caitlin and Cynthia. Because if we draw that, that would be a fine play as well. There's another switch down. All right, 2 switch gone now. E-switch up to the ADP, actually. Oh, I guess they want to go to ultimate right next turn. So they need the water energy still. That's what they're missing here, is the water energy. Here comes another Marnie. We will get the Scoop Up Net, but we don't have the boss anymore, which kind of stinks. Maybe we'll draw into another boss or Koga's Trap. There's 3 boss in the list. Let's see the net. The Bird Keeper. Bird Keeper's not bad to at least draw cards for our turn, but not a lot of our best cards on the bottom of our deck right now. The bosses... specifically is what we have down there that we want. We want those bosses off the bottom of the deck. Unfortunately, we didn't draw a way to shuffle our deck here. But no way to shuffle our deck. Bird Keeper. Crushing Hammers are pretty good, though. Let's see if we can get a couple heads. There's another Tails, and can we go 4 Tails? No, we get 1 head, so we're gonna get rid of the water. They might not be able to Ultimate Ray next turn now. Net the Muck. Put the Grimer back down. And now I think I'm gonna go back into the Intrepid Sword. And I'll put the Recycle Energy... If they Marnie again, which they could Marnie me again. I want this in play. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it on the active doll, I guess. I don't even know where to put that. Intrepid Sword. No boss, but if they do take a knockout, we do have Surge. Surge, Caitlin, and Cynthia, I guess. Recover Surge, and then maybe build Analysis. There's a boss. So here's where, yeah, here's where stuff can start to get out of hand for us as our opponent. They've gotten set up now. Here comes the boss. And the thing about the ADP matchup is they just win really fast once they start attacking. Like, here comes that first Ultimate Ray, 2 prizes, next Ultimate Ray, 2 prizes, and so on and so forth. We really need to find boss here, bring something up, try and trap it, reestablish the Muck, and then get Muck going again. So we're in a little bit of trouble here, for sure. This definitely does not feel great. Setting up some energy on the Guru, but we can always bring up Dedenne. They really want to make sure the Guru can move. We can always also bring up the Zacian as well. Dedenne or Zacian both work. Oops, I should have sent up the doll with the Recycle Energy. Okay, so Surge, Caitlin and Cynthia, or Snorlax, get back. Probably the Bill's Analysis, because I think I just need to dig deeper for cards. Ordinary Rod, Pokemon, just going to get back that, just the Grimer. It shuffles the deck as well, finally. I don't think we were shuffling the deck before. And then Bill's Analysis, there's Boss. There's Exile shouldn't matter. We could exile away, though, the rest of our Pokemon. So I think I will grab Boss Exile here. And then... yeah, I actually kind of like that. Let's grab Boss and Exile. Throw down another doll. And then I want to go for the Snack Search for the Surge so I can go Boss plus Exile next turn. So... let's try and get a Surge back on this Snack Search. That's a Tails. Okay, so next turn we could exile away if they do have boss. They have to have a boss. There's the boss. We can exile away Munchlax plus Zacian. And then we just have 3 dolls in play. And then we can boss up the Dedenne. And I don't know if this will be a winning strategy or not. We're going to have to see how this goes. I'm curious to see if it'll work. So we can exile away these 2. And then we can just pass. And then next turn, I can boss up the... I guess I could have reset stamped last turn, actually, to slow them down. That's what I could have done. I could have reset stamped last turn. That's what I should have done. Should have reset stamped last turn. They're down 3 boss. Still potentially 4th boss and Goss, though, are in the deck. So we have to worry about those. But they only have 2 switch left. And we have a 4th doll left. So we're just going to boss up the Dedenne next turn. See if they can move it. We'll go bring up the Zacian as well, of course. The Zacian could come up to the active. It could bring up the Zacian. Try and trap it. And I could stamp next turn as well. I could stamp next turn. I could have stamped this turn as well, actually. Well, I should probably combo the stamp with the boss. Because I want to give my time to find my 4th doll. Because I don't want to bench any of these things, but I might have to. So I'm going to go doll. And I guess I'm going to go stamp boss. We're going to go stamp. Stamp. Yeah, stamp. Down to 2. Reduce the chance of them having a switch card. Boss, Dedenne. And it's only got 1 retreat cost right now. That's right. We don't have the mine or anything. All right, pass. They have a ton of energy in play though, so they might not be able to move it. I guess an E switch just moves this as well. We don't have Absol in play. We don't have the Galar Mine, which would be great. It would be great if we had that Galar Mine. I could have tried to maybe recover a Crushing Hammer and just get rid of that water energy, and then maybe my opponent just couldn't attack again. Okay, here comes an Ultimate Ray. So now we have to go bench Grimer plus boss, and hope that works out for us. Still in a rough spot. Oh, there's the Galar Mine now, though. So that's great. Galar Mine. Boss. Dedenne. And this time we have to actually bench the Grimer, which I don't want to do, but we kind of have to. I can throw this here again, I think, as well. And go ahead, pass to my opponent. Let's see if they have a switch. Yeah, the Galar Mine was like a turn short there, but I could have stamped on the turn before I was about to exile, because then if they just whiff the boss on that turn, I stamp. And I don't have to exile, and I can keep sitting there and using Munchlax and stuff to keep recovering cards to be disruptive. Maybe even be able to use Muck once or twice in that time span as well, which could make the difference. But we're just hoping we got our opponent trapped here, and it looks like we do. We can get off the adventurous appetite. See if we can discard some switches. Let's see. No switch, but a couple other things. Net reset on the Muck, and then hope our opponent does not have switch plus boss. And if they do, we need to top deck, or if they just have switch no boss, we just need to top deck a boss of our own. But we only have two left, or one left, I believe. One boss left, and it could be prized. We have one Caitlin and Cynthia left as well that we could get. They have two switch left. That's the big thing here. Is they have two switch left. I assume they're out of air balloon. Here comes a researcher. They're digging deep for it. If they got it, well, if they have it, they don't exactly win because we could still get that boss. Like I said, we could still top deck boss and then bring the Dedenne back into the active. There's a Viridian Forest though, so now the Dedenne only has one retreat cost. That's why Absol is so good, because I can't put a stadium in play to get rid of my Absol, unless you're gonna expand it with Silent Lab. But we're not expanded. There's no Silent Lab. They can't do that. But maybe they don't have the energy. They have 7, 8, 9 energy in play. Comes a Primate Wisdom. If they pulled what they need, so 9, 10 in the discard pile. There's usually only 10 or 11 energy in ADP decks, so they might just not have energy. There's no energy. Now we see the rest of their deck with the Muck. I think we pulled this one off here. There's a reset stamp. But if they had a switch in hand, I assume they would play it, unless they're waiting to go switch plus boss out of hand, in which case we do lose. Galar Mine. I do not have another Scoop Up Net for my Muck, but even if I did, if they just have switch, I would lose because they would KO my only Pokemon in play. So I think it's just going to be a pass. Hope they don't have switch, but I find that pretty unlikely. They're only down 2 switch. Most ADP decks play for switch. There's the switch. So we got kind of close. I mean, they only had 3 cards left in deck, but they pretty much always had the out there. We weren't quite able to pull it off. We're taking L here in this first one. We'll try again, though. We'll see if we can't get a dub. Yeah, ADP is a little bit of a tough matchup. Winnable, but tough. Okay, hopefully we do not hit a ADP again, because I feel like that matchup's pretty rough. They can win it pretty fast. Not something we're looking to go up against consistently. And we've hit another ADP. All right, so we're going up against another ADP. We'll see what we can do this time. We got, I guess, reasonably close last time. It felt like it was kind of close. Opening with some Crushing Hammers is nice as well. Take away those energies. I'll probably capture out a Snorlax and then go from there. Giratina, not great in this matchup, but who knows? Able to come in handy. There's Crushing Hammer heads. Gonna go ahead and capture out a Snorlax. We could go for the Zacian though, actually. Because our hand's pretty big. I'm gonna keep this Crushing Hammer. I'm gonna play the bills. We'll make it some more cards to hold. Wondrous Labyrinth, I think, and Koga's Trap, or could just go with the Galar Mine. I kind of want to go with the Galar Mine, actually. Wondrous Labyrinth, and then yeah, just Intrepid Sword. Hold the hand. Couple Lax and a Bird Keeper. Yeah, if we get like another Crushing Hammer heads, we might just try and Munchlax back another Crushing Hammer. We actually have Will Crushing Hammer in hand, so we can actually guarantee the Crushing Hammer heads on our next turn. And then we can try and Munchlax another Crushing Hammer back into the deck, because I don't feel like we have to be super aggressive right now. I think we're in a pretty good spot as far as just kind of slowing our opponent down. They do have a decent amount of energy in play, but until they GX attack, they're not doing a whole ton. And they play Crushing Hammers themselves. I gotta get rid of my capture energy. Not a big deal though at all. Not worried about it. The Cherish Ball. There's a Mawile. So yeah, if they want to put my Munchlaxes into play, they can, I guess. I'm gonna probably do it myself. But yeah, if they want to go ahead and throw them down, sure. I maybe wouldn't have put both in play, so I guess this is like us. They did get an advantage out of here overall. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we got the Will Crushing Hammer. And then I'm like very tempted to snack search back a Crushing Hammer this turn, or attempt to. There's a Doll. We're gonna go ahead and retreat into that right now. Yeah, I really want to go with this Will Crushing Hammer. Let's go for a heads. Let's get the heads because it's guaranteed. And yeah, I just like, we have card draw. We have a boss to disrupt. Let's just get another Crushing Hammer back. Let's just do this for as long as we can. Then we have plenty of other resources to do other stuff. Like next turn, we're going to play the Bird Keeper. We'll draw some more cards. We'll play this Crushing Hammer on the energy they put on their ADP. They might not play a Stadium. Most ADPs play like one Chaotic Swell, it feels like most of the time. But they might not play a Stadium. Some just don't play Stadiums. So we can... this Wondrous Labyrinth might stick for like the whole game. In which case, they just can't ever... like get to, they might never be able to get to like the ultimate rate, which is like a big deal. Like it's like a bunch more energy in play. Here comes one E-switch, but they need 2. If they don't have the extra one, then they won't get the full effect of the GX attack, and they'll only get the plus 30 damage. So and I've had this situation come up before where I've had Wondrous Labyrinth play my opponent GX attacks, and then they just don't get the full value of the GX attack. So, but it looks like they grabbed this Sedena here, so it looks like they're probably going to dig deeper into the deck and look for another E-switch. And even if they get off the GX attack this turn, I'm still going to keep the Wondrous Labyrinth in play, because if we just get a Crushing Hammer Heads, they can't Ultimate Ray still. That's still something they have to work through. And now they put a Guru in play for us to potentially boss up. Extra retreat cost. There's the Air Balloon, but that's going to the Zacian, not the Guru. What have they discarded so far? One switch down, one boss down. Tool Scrapper gone, but I don't think that's going to make a big deal. Two boss down, two different arts, two boss, two crushing. There's that second E-switch. So if we whiff the Crushing Hammer Heads, I'm definitely going to go for boss Galar Mine, or just boss. I don't have to Galar Mine, because like I said, get the Crushing Hammer Heads. Ooh, very good. It's going to be hard for them to attack through that Wondrous Labyrinth. So I'm going to go for the Bird Keeper, get the extra cards this turn. Another doll should come down for sure. Just get that in play before we get Marnie potentially. Now, I could snack search for another Crushing Hammer, or I could just Intrepid Sword to try and get more resources, but I have the boss Galar Mine combo already. I'm going to need another boss after that boss, so I think I am going to go with the Intrepid Sword here. I could have actually attached the Rescue Energy, Recycle Energy to the Lillie's Pokédoll here to just get it in play. There's a water, but they need a Stadium replacement or Metal Saucer E-switch here. And there's a Marnie. Yeah, I could have put the... See, now it's going back to the deck. I should have put the Recycle. I keep trying to say Rescue for some reason. I should have put the Recycle Energy on the Lillie's Pokédoll there. And this hand is just not good. This is not a good hand. It's nothing we want and not going to help us. We loved a boss or a Koga's Trap here for sure to try and burn a switch. They are finally going to be able to Ultimate Ray next turn. They only have two boss left, though, so they do have to go through my Pokédolls. Not gonna play the Tool Scrapper yet. Gonna probably try and play it on. They probably play two. Oh, they're down two switch now. All these different artworks throwing me off. So they're down two switch, two boss. Their bench is full though, and there's the Galar, or there's the Chaotic Swell. Not Galar Mine. We want to go find a Galar Mine now. They probably play two Air Balloons, four switch. So I don't want to like wait to Scrapper. Well, there's another Marnie. All right, never mind. Yep. Could have scrappered that, but it doesn't make a whole ton of sense because this is going to have energy, so I don't want to boss that anyways. And the draw is not great, but they're probably going to have to attack through my doll, which is good. Yeah, they're probably going to have to attack into my doll, which is good. They don't have a ton of cards left in deck, so we want to get this Muck moving at some point. That'd be great as well. But yeah, we need Koga's Trap or Boss's Orders here. Those are the two cards we're looking for. Also, Galar Mine, to try and find Galar Mine, to bump this into Galar Mine to move it. Is also something we're looking for. Here's an Intrepid. Another doll is great. Scoop Up Net will be good eventually. But Caitlin and Cynthia is the big card here. Probably going to go ahead and get a Bill's Analysis because we need to dig deep into the deck to find those cards that make the big deal. And we might, with the cards we draw off Caitlin and Cynthia, we might just go with Snack Search to try and recover a doll as opposed to Intrepid Sorting. Like if we Caitlin and Cynthia, we'll get back to Bill's Analysis, and if we like draw a boss or a Koga's Trap, that's what we'll play on our next turn. So definitely don't need to. And there's a boss. Getting rid of our Giratina. They could have gone like Munchlax, which seemed a little bit, just a small bit better. That's fine. Just gonna send up the doll, and then ooh, got Surge now. So Surge, Caitlin and Cynthia. This kind of worked out pretty good. Get rid of the Snorlax. Grab the Bills. Draw some cards. Play the Bills. There's a Crushing Hammer here, which could make a difference. The Calm I think I want for sure, though, because that gets us the Muck. And then the Scoop Up Net would also get us to reuse the Muck. So I don't think I care. Like, they have a lot of energy left, or a decent amount, right? Oh, actually, they're kind of out of energy. It might have been better to grab the Energy Denial here. All right. Doll, away, Muck, grab Grimer, which we know is in the deck. Another doll in hand, but we also have, oh, we'll throw that in play. Also have a doll in our discard pile, so we just want that doll. We want like endless dolls, just keep sending them up. So we're just gonna keep trying to recover dolls here as we Caitlin and Cynthia to find our bigger cards. There's some bigger cards in the deck that we still need, and we're seeing most of their deck actually with Muck right now. So Muck's about to come down. We're gonna try and hit some switches if there's any left. Who knows? But yeah, actually Crushing Hammer would have been pretty decent here because they actually are pretty much out of energy. Because there's three in there, so I maybe should have gone with a Crushing Hammer there, maybe. You can actually draw cards with Oricorio here, which I really like. So we're going to do that for sure. 2/2 prizes in play doesn't matter anymore because we already had that one. There's that Crushing Hammer. Caitlin and Cynthia get rid of a Quick Ball. And I think I'm going to grab the Surge here because it's likely I draw something between these cards plus this on the next turn. There's a Galar Mine. We're going to hit him with that Muck here as well. Yes, switches. There, we got rid of a switch and an air balloon. So that is great. They're almost out of deck. They're just almost decked out at this point. Another Crushing Hammer. Let's get ahead. Stats of Tails. And I think we're just going to go with the Snack Search. I'm saving the Reset Stamp until my opponent goes down to 2 prize cards. And then we're just going to go like, we'll maybe Reset Stamp them. Or we could Reset Stamp them even next turn, actually. We'll see how many cards they play. Because another thing is, like, if they have the switch in the hand, we could Reset Stamp it out of their hand and then use the Muck. Because they basically have no deck left anyways. And they've seen quite a few of the cards. Like, Mucking here doesn't feel like it's going to potentially do a whole ton for me. So I don't really want to use Muck here. I could, but I probably won't. We'll see, though. Draw. Now we get the Oricorio draw as well. Hopefully finding a boss. Excuse me. No boss. I think I might exile away a Munchlax here to make bench space for the second Grimer. I'm going to do this. We're going to check. Guard for Crushing Hammer. Bench a doll. Retreat to the doll. Oh no, I have Galar Mine in play. I should have sent up the Muck. I forgot about the Galar Mine I put in play. I should have sent up the Muck, evolve to Muck, Scoop Up Net them. All right. Don't do what I just did. That's a misplay. Okay, let's go ahead and exile away the Zacian and the Munchlax. Let's do that. Get rid of these two. And put down doll, Grimer, Munchlax. Okay, a little bit better off now. My bad. We would have recovered just another doll there because we can kind of, if we just keep getting heads on dolls, then we'll just keep putting them on top of the deck. If they keep KOing dolls, we draw cards with Oricorio, and it just kind of all works out in the end. Like, well, they'll just deck out if we just keep getting heads on dolls. We don't need to recover like a specific supporter or something like that. Now we'll get a random top deck, and I think we're just about to deck out our opponent here. Random top deck is the Scoop Up Net, Dance of Tribute into not exactly what we're looking for. So I'm going to go Surge, and then I'm going to go Caitlin and Cynthia. And I'm actually going to get back the Will here, I think. And we're just going to Will guarantee a Crushing Hammer, or not Crushing Hammer, a doll to the top of the deck. We did get the boss now, though, so now I kind of want a boss instead. Yeah, I mean, I think I like the Will, though, as well. I like Will, I like boss. I like them both. Let's go with the Will, because I think the Will almost like guarantees, not quite guarantees me the game, but we're in a good spot. If we just get a doll back. I mean, they could have another Marnie left, right? Like, they've only used two Marnie. Most lists only play 2 Marnie. Let's just Will, and then hit him with Snack Search, get ahead, and just recover a doll. And now this time, when I do this play, I'm going to send up the Muck. All right, we're going to send up the Muck. We're going to draw the doll. We're going to bench the doll. And then I'm going to Scoop Up Net the Muck to reuse the Muck later on. We didn't use Muck this turn because we know the 2 cards in their deck just aren't item cards. And yeah, it's very possible that our opponent actually just like decks out on the next turn. So they have a Marnie. It's fine. We'll deal with it when that comes around. But if they don't, even better. Doll, bench doll. Scoop Up Net are active here. Send up doll. Bench a Grimer. And there's the concession. All right, we got it. We got a dub over the ADP. Lost the first one to ADP. Got the dub on the second ADP. We had a really good start in this one, though. The Wondrous Labyrinth, some Crushing Hammer heads. The heads on the Munchlax, they get a Crushing Hammer heads. It was pretty good, pretty good. And that's, you can sometimes beat ADP. Slow them down the early game like we did. And then they just don't have enough resources towards the end of the game, and we get the dub. And that's going to do it for these games with the control deck, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.